Pinterest followers. It's a question I get a lot. Do Pinterest followers matter? So before we get started, for those of you who don't know me, I am Laura. And as a rogue Pinterest powerhouse, I help high-performing business owners, content creators, and influencers like you grow profitably the right way with sustainable systems so that you can be found first without the tantrums over tech or trading sleep for your success. And I do this using my signature Pintastic Growth to Greatness framework. So let's dive in, because I know that it seems like on Pinterest, followers are being emphasized again. There is a large new follower button right on your profile. And I want to tell you first that followers do matter, but it's probably not as much as you think or as important as you think. It's not the number of followers that matter, but the engagement that you get behind those followers. Because Pinterest actually pays attention to how engaged your followers are with your content that you're putting out there. And you want an authentically engaged audience. So if you're putting out a ton of content that people aren't really clicking through or resaving or things like that, then your engagement is going to be down, and that's when the followers don't really matter. So at the beginning of my blogging endeavors, I made a concentrated effort to include good SEO content. I did all the research about long tail keywords and ensuring that my Google page rank was high, and just like all those things that a blogger tends to focus on right away in the beginning, to make sure that they're making good use of their time, right? And so I did a lot with the blog layout and the SEO subtitles and headings and the H2, H3 tags and all that. And after spending tons and tons of energy and probably way too much of my time, I realized that wasn't the best strategy that was working for me. I'm not saying it's not a good strategy. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go into looking into that. But what I am saying is that you want to make sure you are focusing on what's working for you, your blog, your company, your business, so that you're actually investing your time in the things that are going to make you profitable, right? And so instead, I decided to look into how to turn around some of that time and energy into publishing on my Pinterest profile. And this was back before I had really started to only focus on Pinterest. This was years ago. Pinterest wasn't as widely known as it is now. I still believe it's the underdog, but this was in the beginning of my Pinterest efforts. And after the first month of just prioritizing those efforts, my website views grew like crazy. I think it was some like 700 to 800%. And even though I don't get 800% now today, I still see the traffic climbing. And that's honestly why I fell in love with Pinterest, and why my enthusiasm for business owners and entrepreneurs and content creators grew after switching my mindset around Pinterest, where it's not a social media platform. It's not something that I need to worry about followers and all those vanity numbers, right? And so one of the things that people ask me is, okay, so why then do we have followers on the platform? What does it mean when someone follows me on Pinterest? So on the platform, there's actually a tab where it will say followers on there. And from there, they can choose to pin content to their boards, which they see from the following that they're setting up for themselves, right? And so pins related to their interests show on the home tab, and that's that search-based feed. This, they can go to the following tab and search for things specific to the individuals that they know they already relate to. So you want to make sure that you pay attention to this, but it shouldn't be on the forefront of your strategy. You want to keep existing followers engaged by scheduling pins to post regularly so that your boards don't go stale. And I personally use Tailwind for this because it allows me to figure out that that feel for what my schedule should be, and be able to kind of set myself up to not have to work so hard every single day on the platform, but to be able to focus more on what my strategy is going to be for that week and spend a good 60 to 90 minutes getting that hammered out so then I can focus on other things. So then we walk into, do the followers actually matter? And like I've been saying, they matter to a point, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to put together a case study to show how in the way you put your strategy together, having followers actually doesn't matter as much as you think so. And so pins can be seen by a large audience without having a ton of followers. And that's amazing, even if you're just starting out, or maybe you've been on the platform since it was invite only, but you haven't really been doing anything with it. And that's great, because that means you don't have to start all over, right? You don't have to switch gears and start from scratch. You don't have to spend all this time trying to figure out why you don't have a ton of followers. Followers on Pinterest do not equate the same on other platforms because this isn't a social media platform. And so I want you to think of followers on Pinterest as really a pathway to your audience, right? Finding followers just to increase your numbers on the platform is going to be a waste of your time. And I don't want you to waste your time. If you're using this platform because you have a purpose in mind, then I want it to be at the point where you don't have to get frustrated because you get lost in the black hole of Pinterest, so to speak, right? So people can see your pins and click through your content without actually following you. And so spending time choosing people to follow in hopes that they turn around and reciprocate, like Instagram or Twitter, is going to be that huge waste of time for you. And one of the accounts that I manage is Happy High Achiever, and she's actually a career advice coach. Her current monthly views, when you look at her profile, was 47,000. And that's not huge. That's not little. I mean, it was decent, right? She only had 318 followers. And this isn't like years ago, you guys. So she has 318 followers last week. She was following 401 people. Right there, that's already a huge difference. 47,000 monthly viewers, and she only has 318 people following her, right? But I don't want to stop there, because I want to also touch on the fact that monthly viewers is a vanity number. It does not equal website traffic or profitability. And so even though right now I'm highlighting her monthly viewers, I also want you to realize that that's not something you want to 100% focus on. Make sure that you also focus on the engagement, the click-throughs, the traffic, the sales, the saves. And so the next step, what I did is I went and took a screenshot of her analytics. But she had a total of 797 link clicks in 12 days. So you can see a significant amount of increase in traffic when strategy changes were made, even though we didn't focus at all on her followers. 797 clicks in 12 days. Now, for some of you, you're like, oh, that number is not very big, right? But for those who aren't focusing on the platform and Pinterest, this is a window into the possibility that you can create with Pinterest on the platform, right? It doesn't matter if you're starting out. It doesn't matter if you're experienced or trying to advance further. It can work for you, and you don't have to play that follower game. The follow, unfollow, tag club, what's your link, let me follow you, kind of a thing that you do on other social media platforms, right? And so that is one of the beautiful things that I love about this platform. So then I have people, after I go through all of this, come back to me and say, okay, Laura, how do I get followers on Pinterest though? And again, I have to tell you, the number of followers that you have on Pinterest isn't important. But if you still are truly looking to get more followers on Pinterest, I did create a tutorial in one of my previous videos that shows you a fun, unique way if that's something you want to still try to incorporate in your strategy. Instead of worrying about those vanity numbers though, start to place the importance of quality on your Pinterest account. When I say quality content, I mean your profile, your descriptions, your pins. I want you to think of Pinterest as a visual representation of your business or your website. So when someone searches for a problem or item that they're looking for, or an answer to a question they have, think of this as your visual way to give them insight into who you are and what your business can offer, or your blog can offer, or your product can offer, right? All of your content needs to be well organized, relevant, quality work with clear, concise images and descriptions. So, with all that being said, use bright colors, clear descriptions, make it conversational. And if you concentrate on the design and that conversation, your website traffic is going to soar. You'll be able to turn Pinterest into a profitable, sustainable platform for whatever your purpose is. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. If you are someone that wants to see more case studies that we do within my agency, and for those of you who need some more information, training, and just some help to get started or advance your Pinterest strategy, check out our upcoming Pinterest Masterclass. You can go to laurareich.com/Pinterest Master.